Before we jump into today's video, I just want to say, as always, if you haven't seen the episode yourself, if you haven't watched any of the content that I will be talking about in this episode today, make sure you go watch it, check it out, form your own opinions, and then come on back, because I'd love to be able to talk about the shows with you. I just want to make sure that people know this before I go into the actual content. Forgot to do this when I recorded the video initially, so making sure I get this in there now. Make sure you go watch it. Make sure that you are aware of the content, otherwise there will be spoilers, and I will be talking about stuff. Alright, you just wanted to put that in there. Send you guys back to the video now. Peace! How's it going, everyone? Ani-mity back at it again with another video, and today we're gonna make this a little short one because I've had a lot going on, a lot's been happening all at once. My computer's been updated, my mom's left on a trip, I've been busy doing stuff for work, just a lot of stuff has been happening. And when I say stuff for work, I've been looking for a job, haven't actually found a job yet. Just things have been busy. I'll put it that way. Things have been exceptionally busy, so I haven't had time to do things like my Helluva Season 2 ranking video, haven't had time to do some more reactions for ReZero, haven't had time to do any of the stuff that I really wanted to get to, and I haven't forgotten about any of these projects. It's just been really, really busy lately. So I appreciate you guys being patient with me for a lot of these videos. I appreciate you guys kind of being patient with the fact that things are just going to be all over the place for a bit. This time of year just always gets busy. I don't know why, it just does. But anyway, for today's video, I decided I was going to talk about the newest episode, Helluva Boss Mission 0. Now, originally, I was not going to do anything for it because I was like, I'm not going to do a reaction for these because usually they tend to be kind of short, and also, you know, I never know how it'll go with doing reaction videos for a show like this. So I didn't do a reaction video, so I just kind of watched it. But then after kind of realizing I didn't really have a lot of stuff I was doing, and realizing that I didn't have anything coming up for the channel, I decided I was going to just talk about it, because I've already reacted to it, so it kind of feels weird to go back and react to it, even though I just saw it. Like with ReZero, there's like 3 years worth of a gap between when I first watched it and when I did it for the channel, so that felt appropriate. In this case, I just watched it, so it doesn't feel like that would fit, like, at all. So I'm going to talk about what happened with the Helluva Boss Mission 0 episode, which is I guess, a redo or a reboot of the pilot of the original first episode of it. And I gotta say, it was a lot of fun. It was pretty faithful to, I guess, the main story beats of what happened in the original. I mean, it is updated as far as the animation. The story itself fits a lot more cleanly. It feels weird going back and watching it now. It's kind of like, when I watch the pilot, I watch it fully knowing this is the first episode, and I know this is like before they really fleshed out the characters and that kind of thing, so any of the inconsistencies that were in the pilot, I just kind of am like, okay, that makes sense, it exists, it happened, that's just the way that they wrote it for them, that's what they were expecting they were going to do, versus watching Mission 0 now. It's really good, but at the same time, it also just feels weird. Like, it almost feels like we were kind of watching a regression of so many of these characters. I mean, with Luna and Blitz, I know, like, I guess Luna and Blitz haven't really gotten to that development point where the two of them are kind of like, oh, you know, they're more comfortable with each other. It's kind of back to how it was in the earlier seasons where Luna's just kind of pushing Blitz away as often as possible, but it still felt kind of weird. See, because, like, it felt like the characters were their, like, current canon selves, but then also regressed in a way, which felt kind of weird to see. I'm not against it. I think that the characters themselves are all faithful to how they are, and you kind of can see the seeds of so many of the characters. With Blitz and Stolas, that's the thing that I kind of found the most interesting. Everything else is kind of like, okay, this is kind of how I expected it to go. Millie, Moxie's acting like Moxie, all the characters are acting like themselves. The Blitz and Stolas scene is where, or scenes, plural, I should say, are where I kind of had an issue even. Just like I was confused by where they were going with some stuff. Because, like, it feels like this is where we're getting the beginning setup of, like, this is how their relationship kind of started. This is how Blitz got his hands on the grimoire in the first place. It's building in from, I can't remember the name of the episode. I know it's the Stolas Sings episode where we kind of get to see this is how Blitz and Stolas met each other. This is how they kind of set up the arrangement, kind of how the deal was set in the first place. And from early on, we see, like, the way in which Stolas looked at Blitz and how his character kind of develops. It was really funny seeing Bryce kind of take on the Bronk Baker style of Stolas for that scene, which is really funny. But like, it just felt weird, I guess, because it's Stolas in general, his arc of going from like, oh, Blitz is just my like partner in this way, to then actually caring about Blitz and kind of showing this other side to how he sees Blitz and such is interesting. Like, he sees Blitz definitely as one of his only friends, and it's interesting to see that, but then it's also weird in the way that he's portrayed here. It fits and it works, but I also just don't really know how I want to feel about it. Just like, it fits for kind of how they're developing Stolas into the character that he becomes now, and I love the character that we're seeing from Stolas now, but it just felt weird, I guess, seeing this like earlier draft of Stolas, or this earlier version of him. Again, that might also just be the whole like effect of watching these episodes and then going back and seeing this is how Stolas is now, or just how Stolas was before all the stuff that happened later down the line, or I don't know. Overall, like I said, really good episode. I think that the episode, it hits on all the beats it wants to. It sets up the characters really, really well. And as someone who has like the foresight of this is where the rest of the series is going, I can see the seeds of all the plot lines that we kind of get going forward. And like, I like how in this first episode we have Blitz establishing kind of the hierarchy of the imps and being like, you know, we're expected to just kind of worship. Like, this is what people think of us. This is what the actual reality is. This is what we're doing. And I think that development kind of speaks strongly to what Helluva Boss is, and kind of speaks well to kind of who Blitz is as a character. So all that setup, and then also showing, I guess, like his, need to try to appease the hires with Stolas, and kind of his, like, second guessing is kind of on display, where he kind of is like, is this really working out? Where he's expecting, like oh yeah, Stolas is gonna actually kill me if he realizes that I have the grimoire. So, like, little developments like that, I think, were really, really good in the episode, and kind of, like, it works well that if this was the actual, like, first episode of Helluva Boss we got, it sets up everything that is to follow really, really well. So yeah, those are my overall thoughts on the Helluva Boss Mission Zero episode, and I'm trying to think if there's anything else I really want to say about it. I mean, like, it's a 12-minute... like, okay, 13-minute, let's just say, short episode, so there's not really a lot for me to kind of break down and kind of talk about. Also because that, again, as I said in my character ranking videos, like, most of the characters that are involved in this episode are the characters that I don't really have a lot to say for their development and such. Kind of, they exist, they're characters, not a lot of development kind of happens for them. I mean, we have Millie and Moxie being themselves, which is adorable as always. We have Luna being her sassy self, which is funny as always. Most of the development is driven by Blitz and by Stolas, so they're the kind of main thing I talk about with it, and I have. So that's all I really have to say for it. So if there's anything you guys want me to say more about this episode, or if there's anything you think that deserves more discussion, I'll definitely revisit this episode again at some point. I'll have to when I eventually do an episode ranking, which, spoiler alert, I will be doing an episode ranking at one point, but that'll come sometime in the future. We'll see. I have a lot of things I want to get to. It's just going to take me some time to do them all. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching this one. As always, I am Ani-mity, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.